Alex in the Sunlight. I'm Alex and I'm so happy to see you. The purpose of today's video is to find out and figure out, gain some insight into how we can have a successful year in the year 2020, how we can find our own personal version of success in this coming year of 2020. If the reading resonates with you, please like this video, subscribe so we can spend more time together, follow me on Instagram at Alex in the Sunlight, consider becoming a patron over on my Patreon page, patreon.com/Alex in the Sunlight. And just because it is the Christmas season, if you're looking for a gift for loved ones or for yourself, check out the link below to my botanical coloring book. It's on Amazon. It's filled with positive affirmations and word searches, nature scenes and patterns, and I think it just makes a really great stocking stuffer. Okay, so we have 4 piles here. Group 1, howlite, Group 2, pyrite, Group 3, rose quartz, and Group 4, moonstone. Okay, if you've already chosen your pile, it's totally fine, but if you could just humor me and close your eyes, take a deep breath in through the nose, filling the chest and the belly with air. And as you exhale, ask your angels, your higher self, or your spirit guides to aid you in choosing the correct pile for you, so that when you open your eyes, the one you are drawn to first is the right one. Okay, let's get started. Group number 1, those of you who chose howlite. Okay, so the guidance that Spirit is offering you guys as far as manifesting success and embodying, the successful life that you want to live in 2020 is very straightforward, kind of simple, just not necessarily easy in its execution, because it involves emotional and inner work. You guys, overall, the message is to basically follow your bliss. And even though that sounds really nice, I get the feeling that a lot of you haven't done that in a long time, or are just kind of, maybe you feel like you don't even know what that is like, right? Which is why I said it's simple, but it's not necessarily easy in execution, because all you're really being asked to do is to make choices and create habits in your life that are based on what you actually enjoy and what feels good for you and what feels right for you. But if you guys have been doing the opposite out of obligation or like self-imposed barriers or limitations, that may sound or feel foreign or even unwelcome, right? Because a lot of us, we create these barriers to our happiness, and we can't really see that we're doing it. We don't really recognize when we're choosing what is unhealthy for us, because usually it's in proximity to what is or isn't healthy for someone else. So for some of you, I feel like you guys didn't go for the things that you wanted, like jobs and things like that, because they weren't like what other people around you thought was like practical or lucrative. And so now here you are, and you're like trying to figure out how to feel like you were successful and how to feel like you've done what you wanted to do with your life. But if you've been going in the opposite direction, and especially if you've been getting positive reinforcement in that opposite direction of what you actually want, then being told to make decisions based on what you actually want can feel almost like I said, unwelcome or unwanted, because it's really difficult to do, especially if you've been doing the antithesis of that this whole time, right? So what you're going to have to do is go within to rework some of these beliefs, these long-standing beliefs and thought patterns that you've had. The first card you pulled from the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Woodward in reverse. And this is the Strength card in traditional tarot. So, being in reverse, this is talking about realizing when it's time to take a step back from something. Like I feel like you guys may be, okay, like put it this way. If you've been kind of living your life for others, right? Others' expectations of you, others and their ideas of what success is, that can build up some resentment. And it may be misplaced, right? Because you're not really speaking to what is actually the problem, which is that you're not living authentically. You're just kind of lashing out almost. And a lot of you guys are going to know what I'm talking about, like just feeling prone to being frustrated or irritable and not really understanding why, or just kind of like having an attitude with people and they're not understanding why. And what it really is like at the core, you're wanting something different, you're wanting something new. And I feel like strongly for a lot of you that it's like that you really want to go for your actual passion, but you have felt pressured to do the opposite, and now you've built some kind of resentment towards people. Your energy levels aren't as high, you're not feeling as optimistic and as positive. So the remedy for that is, one, realizing what's actually happening, okay, and taking responsibility for your feelings, taking responsibility for your actions, unless it's been like a life-threatening situation where people are literally threatening to harm you. If that's not the case, then it's like, even though you may have felt pressured to live a life that you weren't really wanting to live, you still have a choice. So I really feel like this is letting you know that like you're probably going to feel lethargic living in an inauthentic way, or um, living in a way that's not aligned with your true goals and true desires. So you need to take a step back from things and go within, okay? Like really check it out in your mind, like see what's going on in your head and do the work of finding like the root cause of this, right? Because I feel like some of you guys are people pleasers. Why is that? You know what I mean? Or like some of you guys really care about what people think about you. Why is that? Some of you guys are just not willing to bet on yourselves. Why is that? You know what I mean? So I even feel like for some of you, this is about like possibly going into therapy, maybe, or finding a confidant in your life that you can talk to about these things, maybe doing some familial work, maybe talking to your parents or your guardians or people who know you best about this stuff. And if those are the people that are like at the root of this, you may not want to talk to them right away about it, but like just taking some steps, taking some baby steps towards working through all of these feelings and emotions that have brought you to this space, right? And the next card you've pulled from the same deck is Ten of Vessels, right? The happiness card. So this is what really lets me know that your whole, this, to sum up the mission of your life in 2020, in order to get what you want, in order to find success, you have to follow your bliss and you have to find harmony in your life, right? So you're going through this like lethargic time at first to get to the point where you can actually figure out what it will be that makes you happy. You may have been denying it for so long that you're not even really sure anymore. So that's an important task, and it starts little by little. So, just even asking yourself right when you wake up in the morning, what it is that you want to do right when you wake up. That'll make you feel good. That'll set you up to have a great day, right? And then doing that, okay? See if you can push some of the boundaries and self-imposed limitations on your life, right? If you've got like a really strident routine, or if you've got a really strict way of being, see if you can kind of like break out of that a little bit, right? I feel like I'm doing this because I feel like you guys have this invisible uh, barrier between you and what you want. And I'm just like, okay, just like kind of press it and see if you can get a little bit more comfortable, see if you can create more space. And you do that by doing what you want, really, by going for what it is that you want, all within reason, all within the bounds of joy, peace, and happiness. Like you really want to create harmony within your life. So don't do things that are just hedonistic for no reason. Like Do things that really spark and create joy within your life. Okay? Really follow your bliss. All right? The next card you've got from the Wild Offering Oracle deck is Solitude. So this goes really hand in hand with these two, but especially with Strength in Reverse. Like, go within. You need to spend some time away from the pressure, away from whatever people, places, or things that are causing you to feel like, you are limited in any way. You are unlimited, and it's crazy. I don't know if you've seen Wicked. Super random, I get it. But this card is green, so it reminded me of Elphaba. So if you've seen Wicked and you know how she sings, like there's two points at which she sings about limitations. At first, she's talking about how limited she is, and then eventually she comes full circle to realize she is unlimited. There's nobody who can stop her. There's nobody who can press her down if she doesn't let them, right? So I feel like that's your moment to go within and realize like that you are, the master here. So in 2020, I feel like it's going to be really important for you guys to create time for alone time. Okay? Be about you in 2020, okay? But the card says, once you embrace the inner divine and your own sacred solitude, the right people arrive at the right time, exactly on schedule, without forcing or chasing, right? So if part of it, because I know that for some of you, this has to do with other people, right? And you're afraid of what they think. You're afraid to push the boundaries because of your proximity to people who can be kind of like Debbie Downers in your life, right? So understand that when you take a step back from all that negativity in your life, you create space for people who are actually going to support you, who encourage you to follow your bliss no matter where it takes you, because they're doing the same, right? And you'll probably come across a lot of people who are where you want to be or are getting there or steadily working their way towards similar goals and things of that nature, right? I feel like you guys taking the time to be alone will help you to discover the types of people that you want to have in your life, right? And so, it may sound counterintuitive, like, well, how can I meet them if I'm alone? You will be led by having that alone time. It's kind of like you'll have this alone time, and then when you step outside, you will be on a higher vibration to meet those people. Your mindset will change, and you'll just naturally attract them or meet them. Whereas if you don't spend that alone time, you might stay stuck in those ways, and then it's like you're not going to get a different result by staying doing the same thing, right? I feel like your solitude is going to inspire you to just move different, and that's going to attract different results, The next card you pulled from the same deck is Gratitude. So, gratitude is healing. Gratitude it's transforming, right? It transforms the way that you see things. But getting to the step of knowing what it is to be grateful is also like a journey in itself, right? So, if you guys are unsatisfied with wherever you're at right now, just focus on the little things, because there's always something, right? There's always something, even if it's just the air you are breathing, to be grateful for. So focus on that, write it down. I really highly suggest to you guys, specifically to you guys, that you start writing down in a journal, in a notepad, in your phone as soon as you wake up. If you guys are the type of people to grab your phone and look right at it, before you look at anything on there, write down 5 to 10 things that you are grateful for right in that moment, even if it was just like, I got some sleep last night, okay? But the card says, find just one thing that you feel grateful for right now and let that gratitude pour through your body. It's a healing balm, like the warmth of the sun, right? And it's an ultimate manifester. When you focus on things that you're grateful for, you end up manifesting more things to be grateful for. That's just how it ends up happening. Because when you start thinking about all of these things that you're so grateful for, like for example, I always write down that I'm grateful for my hands, right? And when I start thinking of all the things that I do with my hands, I just think, like I'm just like, wow, like it just I know it sounds random, but it's like there's something in your life that can do the same thing for you, where you think about it like, wow, I have air to breathe, and just going over that and like thinking about how wild it is that we have lungs in the first place, and thinking of our anatomy, and like the fact that we're in these human bodies. Like, you can expand your mind when you focus on things to be grateful for. It's not just about being trite or being like, oh, I'm so grateful for this, that, and the third thing. It's like, no, it opens you up to go beyond whatever is in front of you, right? And it like drops you into the present moment, but also takes you beyond it. And then it's like it can be a really transformative experience if you let it. So in 2020, be grateful for every little thing, okay? Even if it's a tiny achievement, like waking up in the morning, be grateful for it, okay? The next card you pulled from the Goddess Power Oracle is Elin, and she represents patterns in reverse. This is what she looks like upright. So, this is going back to what I was saying before about being simple but not easily executed. You guys have specific patterns that show up for you in your life that you weren't too satisfied with, right? That kind of piss you off a little bit, right? So when those things arise, instead of getting upset, really be present with it in 2020, okay? Because this will be your gateway to manifestation, because you're going to heal and release the habits of self-sabotage and the habits that are holding you back from whatever it is that brings you your version of success, right? So say you've got like a pattern of negative self-talk or something, or self-doubt. Like, say you'll get to a really good place where you're feeling like, you know what, I'm feeling positive, I'm feeling optimistic, I'm feeling hopeful, and then you're right back into the negativity and the pessimism and things of that nature. Ups and downs, ebbs and flows are very natural. But instead of getting upset with yourself, like, oh, just a month ago I was so on it with my affirmations, and I was doing all of these things that were really helping me, and now I'm just back in my slump. Okay, well, don't get upset with yourself. Figure out why. Figure out what triggered you. Figure out, is this just the season of your life right now? Is it like, have there been a string of gloomy days and now you're in this like gloomy mindset that is temporary, right? Be present with whatever is happening. Be present with your patterns instead of judging yourself for them, because the more you judge yourself for them, the more they continue. You keep the cycle going. So if you want to break those cycles in your life, those patterns in your life that leave you feeling disappointed, then the answer is self-compassion. The answer is to sit with them and be with them and figure out why. What part of you needs healing? What part of you needs attention? And you don't give yourself that attention by berating yourself, okay? So really be kind to yourself in 2020 and be present with whatever patterns show up, right? Because then you'll finally be able to release them instead of just continuing this cycle, right? The next card you've pulled is Isis, upright, rebirth. Okay, so this is basically saying like, allow yourself to go through the natural process of becoming who you want to be, using the lessons that you've learned from the past to help you get there, and really looking at them that way, looking at them in a different way. If you've had like stories where you placed blame, stories where you betrayed yourself or were betrayed by others, like, start looking at those things in a different way, in a different light, okay? So that they can act as tools in your arsenal, as stepping stones instead of quicksand. I think that if you allow yourself to, you will be reborn in 2020 and understand how to find your own version of success, because you're going to be like using all of the experiences of your life and really being able to face yourself. And that kind of wisdom can't be taught and can't be given, right? It's you going through your own personal processes, uh There's no one on YouTube or out in the world that can teach you more about you than you, right? Who can tell you more about you than you. So I feel like that's what this card is letting you know. Is like this transformation isn't about deciding that you're just gonna kind of like burn the past down. It's just more so like you're going to like build yourself up by reworking or reinterpreting the lessons of the past from a more positive and strong and confident lens. The next card you've pulled from the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle is Emergence. So this is really beautiful because this is talking about like, when you're going through all of these processes of renewal and when you're working on yourself internally and you're going through these moments of solitude and of rebirth. When you come out of all of that, when you reemerge, when you emerge back out into the world as like your new but also more authentic and vibrant self, do so with a sense of wonder, do so with a sense of curiosity and awe, right? So like, this ties in perfectly with rebirth. Like you will be reborn, so really be reborn. Like look at everything with new eyes, and I feel like you'll find opportunities there that were probably there the whole time, but that you were just unaware of or you really couldn't be open to because of how you were before. So when you emerge, like really do it, with passion and with feeling and with honesty, okay? Look at everything around you like you're seeing it for the first time, all right? But the card says, the frequency of emergence invites us to approach our reality with a childlike attitude of innocence and wonderment, and to watch and celebrate the beauty that unfolds from that place. Right. There's such beauty that unfolds in front of us if we let it, when we can decide that we want to see the beauty in everything. You know what I mean? And that also ties in with gratitude. And the last card you've pulled is Third Eye Chakra. And I feel like this beautifully ties everything all together because this goes back to what I said in the beginning about following your bliss. Follow your gut, use your intuition, expand your mind, and let it lead you to places you haven't been yet, But the card says, the frequency of the third eye chakra, the indigo flower of life, supports our intuition and our inner knowing, our imagination, and our psychic powers. Right. So to find your version of success in 2020, follow your heart, follow your gut, use your intuition to get you there, okay? Use your discernment, all right? You have everything that you need to succeed. It's all already within you, okay? You just have to use it. You just have to be open to it. But I really feel like you guys are going to have a good year in 2020. This 10 of cups, my eyes keep drawing back to it, and then it's right above this rebirth. So I really feel like you guys are going to work through some stuff, and there's going to be lots of blessings coming your way because of it. All right? That's all I've got for you guys, group number 1. I really hope it resonated with you. Comment down below and let me know if it did. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with me. I truly appreciate it. The magic in me honors the magic in you. Be well. Bye. Hey, group number 2, those of you who chose Pyrite. Okay, so I feel like for you, the guidance, the advice that you are receiving is to give yourself some room to grow so that you can find out what it is that you actually want. I feel like you guys want success, you want abundance, but you don't really know what that looks like for you. I think some of you guys have been looking externally, like seeing what other people have and maybe feeling like, that would make you happy, and then maybe you've been getting it or you will get it and it doesn't really satisfy you because that wasn't it. Because you were looking to someone else's success to figure out your own, right? Or it's not even that, you're not even looking at other people's success, you're just confused about what it is that you feel like makes you successful, right? I think a lot of you guys are very like love oriented or relationship oriented, and I feel like you're going to find your version of success through having like a well-rounded life, whatever that means to you. So being loved in the way that you want to be loved, loving yourself in the way that you want to be loved, releasing relationships and job situations and things of that nature that don't make you feel good, getting to the truth of everything. I feel like some of you guys have been just kind of like in this confused state, kind of restless, kind of frustrated, kind of like you don't really know what's going on. And I feel like it's because you've been kind of like holding back some truths from yourself, maybe a little bit about like, if you're feeling unsatisfied with things. And I feel like maybe it's because some of you guys stopped believing that things could get better, but they most certainly can. So that is a part of your advice, is like remembering that this is just like a moment in time. So in 2020, like spend your time figuring out what it is that you actually want and go towards that. Um, Kind of soothe some of this restlessness. And like I said before, give yourself room to grow, give yourself room to mature. Some of you guys are young, and some of you guys don't consider yourself to be young, but there's like a very like innocent beginner aspect to you guys that I feel like you need to nurture and cultivate more. There's a lot of learning to be done, and so if you're like too hard on yourself or feeling like you should have it all figured out right now, you could be shooting yourself in the foot. So give yourself some room to grow and give yourself that space to figure out what it is that you actually want. The first card you've pulled from the Wildwood Tarot deck is Knight of Arrows in reverse, and in traditional tarot this is Knight of Swords. So with him being in reverse, like I said, there's like this frustration, there's this restless energy. You may have these ideas, you may be thinking all of these things, and trying to manifest stuff, and you're not realizing that you're trying to manifest stuff that isn't even really aligned with what you want your life to look like, or what you actually think success is. And you may not even know what you actually believe success is. So take the time to figure that out first before you try to like push and step out and manifest all of this stuff, because I feel like you guys are actually pretty good at manifesting. I feel like you guys have like uh, a really like beneficial energy when it comes to manifesting. So the thing that's keeping you stuck right now is not really knowing what to manifest, right? You just know you want something different, but you're not really sure what that is. So spend your time, especially at the beginning of 2020, figuring out what that is. And part of figuring that out is releasing and letting go of things that you already know you don't like, right? You've got the Eight of Vessels here, which is rebirth in this deck. And this is talking about like letting whatever has overstayed its welcome go, realizing what relationships or what job situations or what home situations are working and aren't working, right? I feel like some of you guys have this energy of like, well, it's been here, so it just needs to stay here. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of holding on to people, places, things out of habit rather than out of actual desire. So, in order to manifest what you truly desire, you have to let go of what you don't, right? You can't just keep it and hold on to it for fear that nothing better will come along. It will, but you are holding space for things that are taking up space for stuff that you actually want, right? So for some of you, this is like being in an unhappy relationship and needing to realize that it's gone past its expiration date, or this is like a job that you need to step away from, or take time from away from, or seek another job. So part of how you're going to manifest your success is by getting rid of what wasn't successful. Okay? The next card you've pulled from the Wild Offering Oracle deck is Abundance, right? Like I said, I feel like you guys are pretty good at manifesting already. I feel like your issue is just figuring out what to manifest, right? But you know you want abundance. So I think that you will manifest it in 2020 if you focus on just the feeling of abundance, right? What does that feel like to you? Does it feel like having a full fridge? Does it feel like being able to go on a trip without worrying about the money for it? Does it feel like being able to buy gifts for your loved ones? What does that feel like? Focus in on that energy. And I feel like it'll lead you to what it is that you actually like and want as well. Like, just if you go into like a meditation and just pay attention to what happy thoughts come up for you first and go with that, right? But the card says, Divine Beloved, please show me how to feel fully deserving to receive. I release my ego's plan and open to being a vehicle for abundance, right? So some of you, it may sound strange that I'm saying that you're really good at manifesting, because maybe you felt like, you haven't been able to manifest what it is and all of these things. But like I said, this is just about honing in on what it is that you actually want. So yes, you are like a really good manifester. You just need to, like it says, release your ego's plan and be open to being a vehicle for abundance, which means being open to being the vehicle for your own version of success in your own life, right? The next card you pulled from the same deck is True Love. So, part of maybe some of your lack of confidence in whatever it is that's going on over here could be from, like, I feel like for some of you, you may be holding on to people, places, things because you feel like your worth comes from that stuff, and it doesn't. So how you're going to be able to manifest your abundance in 2020 is start falling in love with yourself. Give yourself that love that you are seeking out in external areas of your life, okay? Give yourself that acceptance, give yourself that support, and you will manifest more of the same, all right? But the card says, your wholeness and safety lie within, not from a partner. But this sovereignty actually leads to the deepest intimacy for you to stop using others. Let me stand on my own feet, dear Lord, and know true love. Yeah, because you'll also realize, like, I have my own back. I can make my own dreams come true. I don't need anyone else's validation. I have the power to figure out what it is that I want, and I have the power to give it to me. The next card you've pulled from the Goddess Power Oracle is Mary, and she represents miracles. So you guys have to start believing in miracles again. You guys have to have faith, have an abundance mindset. Understand that your thoughts and your feelings matter, right? We probably hear a lot, our thoughts create our reality, but it's really about, like, how are you feeling right now, and what does that tell you about your reality? You don't need to try and uh, change your thoughts all quick and change how you feel and everything. Sit with it for a minute and ask yourself why you're feeling that way, and soothe yourself, comfort yourself, and remind yourself that miracles do happen, and they will be happening for you in 2020. I feel like with this abundance card and this miracles card, you guys have really great things coming. You've also got the miracle card here. So you guys have really beautiful things coming for you. You just need to put aside that self-doubt and that self-negativity, that self, sabotage and things, and like take it to the side and talk to it, like talk to your inner child, take you over to the side and be like, hey, what's going on here? Like, what is it? What's going on? And how are you feeling? And like, why are you feeling that way? And really, really, like I said, soothe yourself and be that true love to yourself. Like, what would you want someone to say to you when you're upset? And how would you want someone to deal with you if you were feeling restless, if you were feeling lost and confused? Deal with yourself in a very loving and tender way. All right. The next card you pulled from the same deck is Ma'at in reverse, and she represents truth. So, you guys are going to need to also get real with yourselves in a compassionate way, in a loving way. Start speaking your truth. Don't hold back anymore. Okay, part of this restless energy is like because there's all of this stuff that you've pent up that needs releasing, right? And you don't do anybody any favors by holding back. And if you feel like there are people in your life or places or things that are causing you to feel held back, right, release them, right, let them go. But understand that you have to express who you authentically are in order to get what it is that you actually want. If you are expressing yourself as someone else, you're going to get whatever that person would want, right? So I really feel like you guys are going to strengthen your inner resolve and your resiliency. I feel like you guys are going to get a lot stronger and wiser in 2020. And like I said, give yourself that room to grow. Okay, don't force yourself through anything too quickly. Just make the space for the change to happen and make room for the miracles to come in, because like I said, you've got this miracle card here, and this is from the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. And I really feel like this is letting you know that, like, once you have that love for yourself, once you believe in yourself, once you lead with that confidence, giving yourself room to grow, giving yourself room to learn, and making that space for what you want to come into your life, so many miracles are going to happen. You're going to manifest a lot of stuff that you probably didn't think was possible before. But the card says, the frequency of miracle supports our belief in ourselves as a part of Source, and therefore our belief that anything is possible. Right. So believe in yourself, okay? Believe that anything is possible. Like I said, you've got all of these signs: abundance, miracles, miracle, letting you know that if you give yourself that room to grow, if you release the things that really are just taking up very valuable space, right? Very valuable space. If you love yourself and you speak your heart and you speak the truth and you express the truth and you get to the truth of who you are, miracles are going to happen. There's no way that they can't. All right? And like I said at the beginning, some of you guys, this also has to do with relationships. Some of you are very into relationships, interpersonal relationships. The last card you've got is Tantric Journey. And both of these cards add up to 6, I'm just noticing. 33 and 42. And 6 is a very harmonious number to me. Anyway, but what beautiful energy, right? I feel like there's a couple messages in this. One is like following your passion will lead you to success. 2 is like allowing yourself to feel good, to use all of your senses to feel good as a manifestation tool, and this true love being on top of that. For some of you, you guys are going to enter into a relationship that is truly loving, that helps you, that aids you into growing, and aids you into loving yourself more fully and helping you realize, like, for some of you, I'm getting this message of like, okay, I keep looking at this 8 of Cups. Some of you guys need to break up with somebody so that you can find your true love. And I feel like with this tantric journey, it's like you're going to be experiencing a level of joy and passion that you haven't yet. And it's really going to teach you and show you the way and show you the path to your success, right? But the card says, the frequency of tantric journey helps us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness and completion through our sensual experiences with ourselves and with another. Right. So, like I said, using your senses and opening yourself up to these new experiences is also going to help lead you to success, because it's going to teach you a lot about yourself and what makes you feel good, not just, sensually or with, a partner, but just in life. Like, I think you guys are going to be learning a lot about yourselves in 2020 if you give yourself that space to do so. All right. But overall, I really feel like it's going to be a good year for you guys. I think you're going to learn a lot. You're going to grow. And I think you will, like, where you start is not going to be where you end it. You know what I mean? You're going to go through like a really beautiful, like blossoming. I feel like you guys are going to bloom in 2020. Okay, but that's all I've got for you guys, group number 2. I really hope the reading resonated with you. Let me know down in the comments below if it did. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with me. I truly appreciate it. The magic in me honors the magic in you. Be well. Bye. Hey, group number 3, those of you who chose rose quartz. Okay, so for you guys, the message I feel like is very clear that change, specifically in your emotional body, needs to be facilitated. I feel like it's a change that's going to happen regardless, but I feel like a lot of you guys are more so very, like, I feel like a lot of you are very headstrong, you're very fiery, you're very fierce. I think that you guys are very strong willed, and I feel like you guys feel like you know what you want and you know what you're doing, and you aren't necessarily prone to feeling your way through things. Like, I feel like you guys are very logical and analytical and like to kind of like maybe not ignore emotions, but just that's not necessarily your bread and butter, right? Like, that's not where you want to place a lot of your energy and attention, right? In 2020, that is the key to your success, though, okay? Is feeling, is moving through emotions, is following your feelings, and paying attention to those those parts of you, those aspects of you, right? You aren't just made of fire. You're not just made of flesh and bone. There's like, what, 70% of us is water, right? And a lot of the world we live in is water. So I feel like, you guys need to release resistance to that aspect of you, and you'll actually discover your happiness through it, right? You guys may have been in situations where your happiness was eluding you because you were ignoring or because you were suppressing the very thing that would bring you to your happiness, which is through your emotions, through your feelings. So you guys are going to have to get emotional in 2020, and also learn to embrace change, not just in one way, like, oh, your life is changing. Embrace change in all forms, like if your neighborhood is looking differently, or if you are finding yourself in more diverse situations, go with that. I think there's going to be a lot of blessings hidden outside of your comfort zone. So I feel like for some of you, that means delving into feelings, and that also means delving into more diverse areas, right? People, places, things that you're not used to, opinions, ideas that you aren't used to. The key to your success lies there, and that is like outside of your bubble. So really getting outside of your bubble as well is what it's about in 2020 for you guys. But the first card you've pulled is Five of Bows, Empowerment, from the Wildwood Tarot deck. And in traditional tarot, this is the Five of Wands. So, this can be talking about like conflict and people arguing, and like everybody trying to to shout to be heard and things like that. But I feel like for you guys specifically, this is about growing wiser and more intelligent and more well-rounded by listening to what other people have to say, and listening to new ideas and new concepts, and being open to brand new points of view. Like I said, entering into more diverse areas, in all aspects of your life. Use it as an opportunity rather than an annoyance, right? See those times of conflict to as opportunities to be the mediator in the situation, to be the one who understands, to be the bridge over the gap. You know what I mean? I feel like you guys will be pleasantly surprised by what happens. You may meet people who are integral to your success. You may meet people that are completely different from you, who come from a completely different background, who even may disagree with you, but because you are taking on the stance of, well, I can learn from everybody. Everybody has some wisdom. Everybody has something to offer. You will be offered things. Okay, so mind your attitude and mind your temper in 2020, because if you choose to be patient, I feel like you will be pleasantly surprised. Okay, the next card you've pulled is the Ace of Vessels, Waters of Life from the same deck, or in traditional tarot, this is the Ace of Cups. So you guys are going to, you need to lead with compassion. You need to lead with emotional understanding and empathy and sympathy, right? I feel like these two go really well together because it's like, it's an invitation to you, like, do you want to just keep doing things the way that you've been doing, or do you want to embrace a newer, happier, more harmonious, joyful way of being, right? You do have the choice, and it's not always an obvious answer. Sometimes people are so comfortable in their comfort zone, even if it's, unhappy, that they would rather just stay there rather than go forth towards the unknown, towards the new. This is the new. It's an ace, right? So it's the very beginning. This is conception, right? This is like something different you're not used to. Like I said, a lot of your success in 2020 is going to lie outside of your comfort zone. So let yourself drink these waters, right, of like new life, of a new way of relating to people, of a new way of like interacting and being out in the world, right? The next card you pulled from the Wild Offering Oracle is Feelings. I'm telling you, it's very straightforward. This spread is very straightforward. You guys need to honor your feelings, how you feel, and that's going to help you when you're relating to other people and how they feel, right? And like I said, you never know who you're talking to. You never know who you've just met or what somebody can do for you. So you don't want to be false, right? You don't want to pretend to relate just so you can see if somebody can do something for you. But it is good to keep an open mind and to be kind to everyone you meet, because you don't know who you're meeting. But the card says, emotions want to be felt. You really can't surrender something until you deeply feel it. Allow me, dear divine, to offer all emotions to you, feeling them fully so they no longer hold me captive. Right. So for some of you, like I said in the beginning, I feel like a lot of you kind of like, you don't really like to focus on the feeling aspect of things. You're very logical, analytical, you're very fiery. I feel like, you guys are fire and air signs with all of this green and blue. Like, it just really reminds me of like water and the heart chakra. Like, you guys have been on this other end of the spectrum, but your heart is calling to you. Your emotions are calling to you. Like it says, emotions want to be felt. So I feel like for some of you guys, whatever conflicts that you may have experienced in the past with people probably were happening because you felt a veracity that wasn't necessarily appropriate for the moment. Maybe, when we suppress or repress emotions, they come out in other ways. So some of that fire energy is just like, emotions that need to be released, need to be felt, right? So they can't hold you back anymore. Your success, like I keep saying, lies beyond your comfort zone. So this may be uncomfortable for you, but you guys are going to need to do it in order to get what you want. All right? The next card you pulled is Compassion. Be compassionate towards yourself always and towards others. But being compassionate towards yourself helps you to understand and to how to feel compassionate towards others, right? If you're constantly judging yourself, if you're constantly putting yourself under a microscope, if you are ignoring your own feelings, it is highly likely you're doing the same in your relationships, right? Or in your external world. So even though it may sound fluffy to you and you may not want to do it, like I said, a lot of you guys are like, what's this feeling business? I don't want any part of it. But that is where your success lies. I'm so sorry. Hate to break it, but you're going to have to cultivate compassion, get comfortable with those feelings, get comfortable with empathy, sympathy, and just love, right? But the card says, as you pray each day for greater compassion, a new self is born, drawing new people and experiences. Dear Lord, help me feel ever deepening self acceptance. May I see myself as you see me. So, some of you guys have this tough exterior because you're tough on yourselves. And maybe you felt like that was how you can be successful in life. Maybe that was what you felt like was the road to success for you, is to be like, tough and cutthroat, or having like this exterior that is impenetrable. That is not the way for you guys, okay? You need to start being compassionate towards yourself, be easier on yourself, be softer, okay? Like Bruce Lee said, for some of you guys are fire signs. But what did that fire sign say? He said, be like water, right? And we look at water and we think like, even though, because to me, water represents emotion, like 100%. And so many people kind of pish posh on emotion, but then look at what water can do. Some damage, right? But then it's also life force. It's like we need it to survive. We are made up of water, like the planet is made up of water. So it's like, whoa, this thing that so many of us try to deny is our sustenance. It's our very, connection to life. So, these cards, they go hand in hand with each other. They even have very similar color palettes. So you guys are going to need to feel into that heart space, all right, and move from that space, move from a place of love in 2020. The next card you've pulled from the Goddess Power Oracles is Freya, Radical Acceptance. All right, so for some of you that have this tough exterior, it's because you've been burned before. And a lot of you guys are afraid of failure. A lot of you guys are like, I'm not going to go back to that place. You guys really remind me of Scarlett O'Hara when she's like on the top of the hill and she's like, as God is my witness, I'm not going hungry again. Like, I feel like that's a lot of you guys. And so, you feel like the way is to just like be kind of like, I won't accept failure. I won't accept defeat. But the fact is, like, you need to accept the failures. You need to accept the defeats in your life that have happened, because that acceptance leads you to your victory, believe it or not. So, when you can accept that, like, you know what, that had me down, then you can say, well, what can we do to build me back up? But if you don't accept that you were down, how do you ever find the time to build yourself back up? You just end up walking around, with wounds that need healing and tending to that you were ignoring, right? So really accept that, every rejection is protection. And a lot of what happens in our life that we consider failures are course correction, or, saving us from things that we don't even realize are around the corner that could be, undesirable to us or harmful to us. So accept those moments in your life. It also, to me, this also represents like peace, like cultivating peace in your life. You don't have to fight. You don't have to like keep fighting when, the battle is done. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You guys are very fierce, but this is asking you to be soft. This is asking you to tap into that more tranquil, calm part of you. Okay? The next card you pulled from the same deck is Hestia, and she represents home, and this is in reverse. So for a lot of you guys, this is about declutter. Get all of the cobwebs out, all of the material things that you've got that you don't even care about. Donate, sell, do whatever to get it out of your house, okay? Because you don't need it anymore, and it's actually probably creating a lot of anxiety. Like, you don't even realize it's happening. But clutter and mess really messes with your head, even on a subconscious level. So declutter your physical space and also your mental space. All of the things that have happened to you, and these ideas, these beliefs that you've had that have kept you locked in this cycle of like conflict or ignoring your feelings, like, get rid of it, okay? because you're making space for your success in 2020 by decluttering. All right. The next card you pulled from the Sacred Geometry Oracle deck is Conception. So back to talking about conception, right? The beginning. I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be starting new things in 2020 and like feeling like you've gotten a new start. You know what I mean? But the card says, the frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. Right, so like going back to the start, like kind of reconnecting with your beginner's mind before you got tough, before you had to defend and fight, before there was conflict, like, you know, just to the root of you, the truth of you, which is peace, which is love, right? Which is unconditional love and acceptance and compassion. Like going to that space and manifesting from that space, you will actually manifest success, not from stress and strife. You're just going to create more stress and strife. So going back to like the innocence of it all, right? Our beginner's mind. That's what you guys need to do and focus on in 2020. And like I keep saying, be soft. All right. The last card you pulled is Dynamic. So this is like kind of reminding me of the very first card, right? And I'm telling you about diversity and like embracing diversity, embracing change, embracing newness, embracing new ideas and different concepts of reality, different points of view, right? Living a dynamic life, not stagnant, not just stuck in your own way and in your own bubble, like really noticing all the colors, right, outside in the world, not just, you know, the color palette of your own point of view, right? But the card says, the frequency of dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequency. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. Yeah. So for you guys, success in 2020 lies outside your comfort zone. It lies within the heart space. It lies within connection and unconditional love and honoring your feelings and your emotions. And it lies in the space that you create by getting rid of all of that old stuff to be replaced with the new. Okay? That's all I've got for you guys. Group number 3, I really hope it resonated with you. Let me know down in the comments if it did. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with me. I truly appreciate it. The magic in me honors the magic in you. Be well. Bye. Hey, group number 4, those of you who chose Moonstone. Okay, so the energy I'm feeling from you guys is like right away I felt like this sense of maybe like you're not really sure what to do, or you're feeling a little bit sad or unsure or uncertain. Some of you guys are kind of like stressed out, I feel. And excuse me, I also just feel like you guys need a hug. um I think for a lot of you, your situation isn't as bad as you think it is, and it's like if you're unsatisfied with where you're at right now, 2020 is a great opportunity to change that. But it's not something that you need to take on all at once. You know, like similar to group 1, I believe it was, your advice is to find out what it is that is actually going to make you happy, and choosing that direction in life. I feel like, but the difference between you and group 1 is like I feel like they were suppressing what it is that they really want because they felt like, you know, they were worried about what other people thought of them. For you guys, I feel like you're not really sure what it is that you want. I feel like you guys maybe have manifested a situation that you thought you wanted, and now you're feeling like kind of like unsatisfied with it, and that's totally normal. but just own that and understand that like you guys may need some more help or some more room to grow or some more room to figure it out, right? I feel like 2020 is going to be about like figuring out what it is that's actually going to make you feel good and feel happy in your version of success, and that's going to come through taking care of yourself. I think the emphasis on taking care of yourself is like paramount in 2020. Okay, like you've got the first card you've got is the Four of Stones from the Wildwood Tarot deck. So I feel like there's two messages I'm getting. For some of you, this is about letting go of a scarcity mindset. Okay, letting go of feeling miserly or feeling like, like you've got to hold everything close to your chest because you're not sure when you're going to get more of it. Feeling that lack just manifests more lack. A lot of this too is talking about your thoughts and your thought patterns and how you kind of shoot yourself in the foot sometimes focusing on the negative. So really mind yourself with that. But another message I'm getting too is just kind of like turn that around into just being more mindful about your spending, be more mindful about your relationship with money. If you're unsatisfied with how much money you have, evaluate your relationship with money, evaluate where it's coming from and how much and how much is going out and things like that. I would really suggest getting a little bit money savvy in 2020 and investing in yourself by educating yourself. And if you have the money to do so, that like it'd be great if you could like hire an advisor of some sort. But if you don't, educating yourself in other ways like books or financial experts on YouTube or podcasts, things of that nature, I really think that you guys are lacking in some confidence. And so to me, information, education is definitely power. Knowledge is power, and it helps you to feel more confident about that relationship you have to whatever it is that you're educating yourself on, right? If you know what's going on, you have a better grasp and a handle of it. The next card you've pulled is Ace of Bows from the same deck, Spark of Life in reverse. And in traditional tarot, this is Ace of Wands. So to me, this is letting me know that like, yeah, you're trying to have these new ideas or you're trying to bring forth like a new way of being, but there's some stuff holding you back, and it's like a lack of really knowing what to do, or a lack of focus or knowing what to focus on, right? I feel like some of you guys feel like maybe you've been delayed and it's frustrating to you, but all of the delays that have happened or may happen are to give you time. You need time to figure out what it is that you really want to do and where you really want to take your life, because you are fully capable of manifesting whatever it is that you want, but you want to make sure that what you're manifesting is actually what you want, okay? So this is about recalibrating. I feel like you guys need to recalibrate and realign, because what used to be good for you isn't anymore. You know, aces are about newness, completely new beginnings. So this in reverse is letting me know that like you're needing a new beginning, you're on your way to a new beginning, but it's just kind of it needs to take time. It needs a little bit more time. And in that time, like I said, taking care of yourself, educating yourself is paramount. The next card you've pulled is Doubt from the Wild Offering Oracles. So, you guys are going to need to cultivate confidence and release a lot of this self-doubt that you've got going on, because you're shooting yourself in the foot with it. You're not even realizing probably how far you're holding yourself back by not believing in yourself and by kind of your mind being plagued with all of this self-doubt. Like I really feel like you guys need to find ways to relax your mind, find ways to ease your mind. Like you guys are in, like I said, I feel like you guys need a hug and you need like some comfort. So really make space and make time for that in 2020, okay? Feeling good about yourself, all right? Soothe yourself, okay? But the card says, Offering all to the divine doesn't mean negativity never arises, but you can say, free me from this doubt, free me from this prison of doubt. I cast this burden to you. Show me your will and restore me to faith and confidence. Yeah, you guys need to have some faith. Faith in yourself, faith in your life path. I feel like some of you guys feel like you don't even know what your purpose is, and that's fine. You don't have to know it right now. I feel like you're going to be on your way through this journey of self-care and healing, okay? The next card you pulled from the same deck is Direction, which corresponds to the Ace of Bows in reverse to me. Because, like I said, you guys are in need of a change, you're in need of newness, you're in need of a whole, upgrade, really. You have these new ideas, but you're not really sure how to implement them. You don't really know which way to go. So this is about like kind of accepting that you don't know which way to go and using the time that you have to let that unfold, right? I feel like it's going to be a co-creative process with you and the universe. Like while you do this work on taking care of yourself and healing yourself and reinvigorating yourself, the universe will be showing you signs and kind of guiding you gently along the way. But the card says, Lord, please show me the right action right now. Please bring a sign and a miracle that gives clear direction. May I hear the promptings of my own body, and if for some reason I'm about to head the wrong way, please stop me. Right. So understand that taking care of yourself is getting you to where you want to be. It may not feel like that in the moment because a lot of us have like resistance towards self-care and resistance toward taking care of ourselves. But honestly, that's going to be one of the best ways for you to get to know yourself and to get to know what direction you want to take in life and what your life purpose is, because it's intimacy with yourself, right? It's spending time with you and who you really are. And then through that energy, you can open yourself up to the promptings of the universe, to those downloads that the universe is sending you. And you'll be led in the right direction, right? And anything that doesn't pan out or something that doesn't go through that you wanted, now you know this is your complete answer that wasn't for you. Okay? The next card you pulled from the Goddess Power Oracle deck is Spider Woman in reverse, and she represents co-creation. So like I said, this is a co-creative process. And I think that, I think I said it before at the beginning, some of you guys have manifested things that you're not really happy with. And it's nothing to be too upset about. It's just a sign you need to recalibrate. Take responsibility for your feelings, take responsibility for your actions and your words, and just understand that you have the power and the choice to let go of what you don't actually want in your life. All right, so you have the choice, you have the power to release toxic relationships, or not even toxic relationships, but just incompatible ones, right? Incompatible jobs, people, places, things, right? You have the power to release all of that, let it go with love, and make space to create what it is that you actually want in 2020, okay? Your own version of success, all right? That may look completely and probably will look completely different to what you thought it would a year ago, okay? But you're growing, you're learning. The next card you've got from the same deck is Gaia, and she represents Earth. And if you see, oh, such a beautiful card. And I really feel like this is letting you know, like what I was saying before, self-care, taking care of yourself. Slow down in 2020, okay? Like, slow down so that you actually have the time to listen to yourself, listen to your body, listen to what it's telling you. There is such wisdom. That's like lying within our senses and our organs, and so much of it gets ignored because we just have our goals and we just think, so like we have this tunnel vision sometimes, and then things that really need our attention and care fall by the wayside. So make your, make self-care practices a priority. It's really important that you do so. It's really important that you make self-care practices your priority in 2020, okay? It'll really unlock the keys to your success. Like, if you see this imagery, it's like she's just got, it's, to me, it's like she's got everything, because she just looks like completely at peace. And like, she's surrounded by flowers and the butterflies and the birds, and she even looks pregnant, and it's just like, you don't have to be pregnant. But to me she just represents abundance. So I feel like through taking care of yourself, you will be led to your abundance. You will manifest your abundance by feeling good. Those good feelings help you to manifest more things that make you feel good. Okay? And it ties in perfectly with the next card, which is delight. So like, follow your bliss, right? Find things and pay attention to things. Focus your energy on things that bring you delight, that make you feel like happy to be here. Like, watch things that make you laugh, or listen to music that makes you want to dance, right? Enjoy yourself, okay? Like, take the time and the opportunity in 2020 to enjoy yourself, because I feel like also this whole spread is letting you know that like you need to raise your vibration. You need to bring yourself to a higher elevation, because down here, with the doubts and the scarcity and the lack of focus and direction, you aren't able to enjoy yourself. So as well as cultivating self-care practices, do things that make you feel good. Do things that are fun. Do things that you really enjoy. But the card says, the frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. Right. I feel like you guys are going to be like how Stella got her groove back in 2020. I feel like you guys need like more time for relaxation, more time for love and like feelings of joy and delight, like I said, and like that'll spread out to other people as well. I feel like you guys may start 2020 a little bit anxious and things, but by the end of it, I feel like you're going to realize like, you find your bliss, you find your success when you are relaxed, when you are at peace, when you feel tranquil, when you are well taken care of. All right. And there's nothing to be ashamed of in that as well. I know a lot of us have some resistance to, doing stuff for us, but that's going to be, where your nuggets of wisdom come in, where your wishes come true. Okay. And the last card you pulled is perfect. It's passion. In 2020, find out what you guys are passionate about. Find out what gets you excited. You know, find out what like really just illuminates everything for you. Find out what just like makes you want to get up and get out of the bed in the morning. You know what I mean? Find out what you're passionate about and go towards it, because it'll teach you and show you which direction you need to go. All right? But the card says, the frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. Yeah, like I just said, I feel like at the start of 2020, you guys are going to feel a little bit anxious, not really knowing what to do, where to go, where to turn. And then if you listen to this advice and you're taking care of yourself and you're following your heart and you're doing things that you enjoy and you're working on those happy feelings, those happy thoughts, and you're working through the negative ones and integrating it all together and accepting every aspect of you and understanding that, you help create your life here. So you can always make the choice to change it. You will find your version of success, and it'll be like a really good year for you guys. Like I said, take care of yourself, reinvigorate yourself, find what you're passionate about, and really make time and space for joy, okay? And it'll lead you to where you're trying to go to be successful. All right? That's all I've got for you guys, group number 4. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Let me know down in the comments if it did. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with me. I truly appreciate it. The magic in me honors the magic in you. Be well. Bye.